The shuttle shook as it entered the massive alien city, its metal walls glinting under the strange green light of the twin suns. Inside the cockpit, Jaren gripped the controls tightly, his heart beating fast. He had traveled across galaxies to present Earth's first prototype, a creation born of human science and imagination. The council chamber loomed ahead, a vast hall carved from black crystal that seemed to absorb every ray of light. As Jaren stepped out, he felt the eyes of hundreds of alien beings staring at him, their shapes strange and terrifying, their voices a strange chorus that echoed through the chamber. He carried the prototype carefully, a small device glowing faintly with blue energy. It was simple by alien standards, yet it held the hopes of all humanity. Jaren's palms were sweaty, and he felt a mix of fear and pride. The moment he entered, the council erupted in laughter, harsh and cold. "They brought their primitive toy," one of them hissed. "Pathetic," another sneered, pointing at the device. Jaren's chest tightened, but he held his head high. He knew the prototype was powerful, even if they could not see it yet. The laughter grew louder, filling the chamber. Aliens leaned closer, examining the prototype with cruel curiosity. Some poked it with strange tools, others whispered in tones Jaren could not understand. Every glance felt like fire against his skin. Jaren's mind raced, wondering if Earth would ever be taken seriously. The prototype hummed softly, almost as if sensing his tension. Its lights flickered in blue patterns, delicate and almost hypnotic. Suddenly, the laughter stopped. A deep voice echoed through the chamber, cold and commanding. "Silence," it said, and every alien froze. Jaren looked up and saw her, the alien queen, seated high on a throne that seemed to float in the air. Her eyes burned like molten gold, and her wings shimmered with colors no human had names for. The entire room trembled under her presence. Even the council members who had mocked Earth's prototype now bowed their heads. The Queen's gaze locked on Jaren, piercing and unyielding. "You brought this creation before me," she said, her voice smooth but filled with anger. Her words made Jaren's heart pound. He took a step forward, unsure what to say. The council muttered among themselves, clearly afraid of her wrath. Jaren felt the weight of humanity on his shoulders. The laughter that had mocked him just moments ago now seemed like a distant memory. The Queen rose from her throne, her presence towering. She moved closer, each step echoing like thunder. Jaren's hands shook slightly, but he steadied himself, holding the prototype carefully. "Do you understand what you carry?" she asked, her voice like steel wrapped in silk. Jaren nodded, his throat dry. I hope to show its worth, Your Majesty," he said. The Queen studied him for a long moment, her expression unreadable. Then she leaned forward slightly, and her golden eyes flared with a strange light. "You will come to my side," she said finally. "There is much to discuss." Jaren swallowed hard, unsure if it was punishment or honor. The council stepped back, silent and tense. The prototype pulsed softly in his hands, as if it knew something was about to change. Jaren's mind raced with questions, but he dared not speak. He followed the Queen, every step echoing in the vast chamber. The alien's laughter was gone, replaced by an uneasy silence. Outside, the green suns shone brightly, but inside, a new light had begun, a spark of hope, a chance to prove Earth's worth. Jaren could not yet understand what awaited him. All he knew was that the alien Queen had noticed him, and for the first time, Earth might have a voice among the stars. The throne room was immense, taller than any building Jaren had ever seen, its walls glowing with strange alien symbols. The air was thick, almost alive, humming with energy. Jaren followed the alien Queen, his steps careful and measured. Every movement she made seemed to command the entire room. Even the council members, once so confident, moved aside with fear in their eyes. The Queen's golden eyes glared at him, her expression sharp, like a blade ready to cut. "You have brought this creation before me," she said, her voice echoing in the chamber. The prototype hummed faintly in Jaren's hands, as if it understood the danger. Jaren swallowed hard, feeling a mix of fear and determination. "I wanted to show its potential, Your Majesty," he said, his voice steady. The Queen's gaze did not soften. Instead, she turned sharply to the council, her wings flaring with sudden anger. "How dare you mock Earth's work?" she thundered. You laughed at what could become one of the greatest creations in the galaxy. The council bowed quickly, their voices trembling. Forgive us, Your Majesty, we did not know, one of them stammered. Silence, she said, her tone cutting through the words like fire. Then she turned back to Jeren, her eyes blazing. You have courage to bring this before us, yet you do not know the weight of what you carry, she said. Jeren felt the power of her words. He looked down at the prototype, its lights flickering softly. He knew it held secrets the aliens could not yet understand. The Queen stepped closer, her gaze never leaving him. You will show me its strength, she said. Do you understand? Yes, Your Majesty, Jeren replied, his voice firm. The Queen nodded slowly, her anger fading slightly, replaced by a thoughtful intensity. You see, this prototype is more than a machine, she said. It is a test, a challenge, a proof that your world may have more power than I imagined. Jeren felt a flicker of hope. Yet fear still lingered. The Queen's eyes softened for a moment, then hardened again. You will not fail, she said. Her voice was sharp, but there was an edge of expectation. If you fail, Earth will remain a joke in the galaxy. The words were heavy, weighing on Jeren's shoulders. He nodded, understanding the stakes. The council watched silently, clearly intimidated. Even the bravest among them seemed unsure of what might happen next. Then the Queen's voice dropped, almost a whisper, yet it carried across the chamber. There are forces in the galaxy that will try to destroy what you hold, she said. Jeren looked at the prototype, its faint glow seeming to pulse in agreement. Some will see it as a threat, the Queen continued. Some will try to stop it before it proves its worth. Jeren felt a shiver run down his spine. He realized the mission ahead would be far more dangerous than he imagined. The Queen spread her wings wide, their colors shimmering with alien light. You must prepare, she said. Learn what this creation can do, and prove to me that humanity deserves its place among the stars. Jeren nodded, his mind racing with plans and strategies. He felt the weight of responsibility heavier than ever. The council stepped back, silent and wary. The prototype hummed softly, a promise of power yet to be revealed. The Queen's eyes lingered on him one last time before she turned. Go, she commanded. Your trial begins soon. Jeren took a deep breath, holding the prototype close. He knew that the galaxy was watching, and that Earth's future depended on what he would do next. The Queen's fury had tested him, and he had survived. But the real challenge was just beginning. Jeren left the throne room with a mixture of fear and determination. The prototype pulsed softly in his hands, as if it knew the journey ahead would be dangerous. The alien Queen's words echoed in his mind, warning him of forces that would try to destroy it. He glanced at the council members, their eyes filled with a mixture of curiosity and doubt. No one spoke, and the silence made the corridor feel colder. He reached the edge of the alien city, where massive ships waited. Their hulls were black and smooth, like liquid metal. Jeren stepped inside one of the vessels, the prototype secured in a glowing containment pod. The ship hummed to life, rising into the sky with ease. As it moved beyond the city, Jeren could see strange alien worlds below. Planets covered in swirling clouds, oceans that glowed, and deserts that burned with colors he had never seen. The Queen's instructions were clear, yet vague. Test the prototype where others cannot, she had said. Prove its worth against the challenges of the galaxy. Jeren felt the weight of the responsibility. Every choice, every move could determine Earth's fate. He checked the prototype one more time, its lights flickering reassuringly. He whispered, "We can do this," and felt a small spark of hope. The first test awaited him on a world of jagged cliffs and deep, glowing chasms. The air was thin, almost burning his lungs. Aliens from distant galaxies had tried to survive here and failed. Jeren knew the prototype would be tested in ways humans could not yet imagine. He activated it, and the small device expanded, forming shields and scanning the terrain. It moved as if it had its own mind, analyzing dangers, predicting paths, and reacting instantly. Suddenly, a massive creature emerged from the chasm, its body glowing with red energy. It roared, shaking the cliffs, and charged at Jeren. He pressed buttons frantically, but the prototype responded on its own, creating a barrier that blocked the attack. The force of the impact made him stumble, but the prototype's shield held. Jeren realized it was more than a machine. It was alive in a way, thinking, adapting, surviving. Hours passed, each moment testing his courage and skill. Hostile terrain, strange storms of energy, and alien predators tried to destroy him and the prototype. Each time, the device reacted perfectly, shielding, moving, and even communicating with alien technology he could not understand. Jeren began to feel a connection to it, as if it trusted him to lead and protect it. He realized that failure was not an option. If he failed, Earth would remain weak in the galaxy's eyes. By the end of the first day, the prototype had proven itself in ways no alien could ignore. Its abilities seemed limitless, yet Jeren knew this was only the beginning. He looked up at the strange twin suns of the planet, feeling both exhausted and exhilarated. A sudden message flashed across the device's interface, in a language Jeren did not know but somehow understood. "It knows the path forward," he whispered, amazed. The ship that had brought him waited nearby, silent and patient. Jeren prepared to leave the world behind, knowing the next challenge would be even greater. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and full of enemies who would try to stop him. Yet with the prototype by his side, he felt a surge of confidence. He was ready to prove Earth's worth to the alien queen and to the stars. As the ship lifted off the planet, Jeren looked down at the glowing cliffs. He whispered to the prototype, "This is only the start." And somewhere far away, the alien queen watched silently, her golden eyes filled with a mix of anticipation and curiosity. The ship glided silently through the alien skies, carrying Jeren and the prototype to a planet that seemed alive. Its surface glowed with strange veins of light, moving like rivers of energy. Jeren felt a chill run down his spine, knowing that this world would test them like no other. The prototype hummed softly in his hands, its glow pulsing faster, almost like it was preparing itself. As they landed, the ground shook beneath their feet. Alien creatures with translucent skin and glowing eyes emerged from the shadows. They circled Jeren cautiously, their movements precise and threatening. He gripped the prototype tightly, ready for anything. The device reacted instantly, forming a shield that flickered with blue energy. The creatures paused, studying the shield, unsure of what it could do. Then, suddenly, the terrain shifted violently. Huge rock formations rose from the ground as if the planet itself was alive. Jeren stumbled, but the prototype extended a small energy platform beneath his feet, keeping him safe. It adapted faster than he could comprehend, analyzing every threat, every movement, every danger. Jeren realized for the first time that it was not just a machine, it was alive in its own way. It thought, it learned, and it could fight. Hours passed, each moment filled with danger. The alien creatures attacked in waves, the planet itself trying to crush them. Yet the prototype responded with precision, shielding Jeren, countering attacks, and even predicting the movements of the creatures. It seemed unstoppable. Jeren felt awe and fear at the same time. The power of the device was far beyond what he had imagined. Suddenly, a massive alien construct appeared, taller than the largest building Jeren had seen. Its body was made of a strange dark metal, glowing with red cracks of energy. It moved with purpose, heading straight for them. Jeren's heart pounded, and he activated the prototype fully. A bright light surrounded him, forming a protective sphere that expanded outward. The alien construct struck, but the shield held, sending a shockwave across the ground. Dust and debris flew everywhere, yet Jeren remained standing. The prototype pulsed again, scanning the alien construct. It projected a beam of energy that seemed to communicate with the machine. Slowly, the alien construct stopped, its movements halting as if it understood. Jeren stepped forward cautiously, amazed at what he was witnessing. The prototype had not only defended him, it had learned, it had convinced the enemy to stop. He realized the full power of the device was not just in its strength, but in its intelligence. As the sun of the alien planet dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows, Jeren looked at the prototype with a mixture of wonder and hope. He knew that the challenges ahead would be even greater. Yet he also knew that he and the prototype could overcome anything together. Somewhere far away, the alien queen watched, her expression unreadable. She had summoned him to test humanity, and now she would see their true potential. Jaren took a deep breath, feeling a surge of confidence. Earth's future rested on his shoulders, and he would not fail. The ship awaited, ready to take them to the next challenge. Jaren lifted the prototype carefully, its glow soft and reassuring. He whispered, "We are ready for whatever comes next." The turning point had come. The prototype had revealed its true power. And now, the galaxy would have to take notice of Earth. The alien skies were dark, lit only by streaks of purple lightning as Jaren and the prototype approached the final test zone. The air was thick and heavy, charged with strange energy. Jaren's heart beat fast, but he held the prototype tightly, knowing this was the moment everything would be decided. The alien council and creatures from distant worlds watched silently, their eyes fixed on him. Even the smallest misstep could mean failure and humiliation for Earth. Suddenly, massive energy barriers rose from the ground, forming a cage around him. The ground shook violently as alien machines moved into position. Jaren activated the prototype fully, its glow expanding into a protective dome. It pulsed with blue energy, scanning, learning, and preparing for whatever came next. The barriers were meant to trap him, but the prototype adapted instantly, creating bridges of light across the energy gaps. Jaren stepped forward, feeling a surge of awe and trust in the device. The alien machines attacked in waves, firing beams of energy and releasing swarms of creatures. Jaren moved carefully, the prototype shielding him, blocking every attack. It countered with precision, disabling the machines without destroying them. Jaren realized that the prototype's strength was not just in fighting. It could communicate, negotiate, and protect without unnecessary destruction. He felt a strange connection, as if it understood him and trusted him completely. Hours passed, and the tests grew more dangerous. Massive energy storms formed suddenly, twisting the ground and hurling debris. Yet the prototype adapted, creating barriers and guiding Jaren safely through the chaos. The alien creatures and machines hesitated, unsure of how to react to such intelligence. Jaren felt a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration. He had survived every challenge, and the prototype had proven its worth beyond imagination. Then, from above, a golden light filled the sky. The alien queen descended slowly, her wings glowing brilliantly. The council and alien observers fell silent, their faces filled with awe. Jaren dropped to one knee instinctively, unsure of what would come next. The queen studied the prototype, her expression unreadable at first. Then, slowly, a smile appeared, subtle but full of approval. "You have succeeded," she said, her voice echoing across the battlefield. "The prototype is more than I imagined, and you have proven that humanity is not to be underestimated." Jaren felt a wave of relief and pride. The council whispered among themselves, clearly astonished. The creatures that had attacked now bowed or retreated. The galaxy had witnessed Earth's potential for the first time. The prototype pulsed softly, as if proud of its achievements. Jaren stood tall, feeling the weight of responsibility lift slightly. Earth had earned recognition, and the Queen's favor was a promise of new opportunities. The Queen stepped closer, her golden eyes locking on Jaren. "You will join me," she said, "and together we will prepare humanity for the trials of the galaxy." Jaren nodded, understanding the honor and the challenge. The council murmured in awe, clearly impressed by what he and Earth had achieved. Jaren looked at the prototype, glowing softly in his hands. He whispered, "We did it." The twin suns of the alien world dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the land. Jaren knew that this was only the beginning. The galaxy had seen what Earth was capable of, and the alien queen's recognition was proof of their potential. As he followed her toward the throne, he felt hope for his world like never before. Earth was no longer weak, and humanity had a chance to shine among the stars. And with the prototype by his side, he knew they could face whatever the universe threw at them. The adventure had tested him, challenged him, and changed him. But in the end, humanity had earned respect. The alien queen had witnessed their courage, and the galaxy would never forget. Jaren lifted the prototype once more, feeling its energy pulse in rhythm with his heart. Earth's story had begun, and the stars were waiting to see what would come next.